Today we're taking a look at the 2022 Vista 33 from Athens Archery. Welcome back to Mike's Archery, and today we are taking a look at the 2022 lineup from Athens Archery, and we've got the new Vista 33 with us. Now this bow was available last year in the Athens lineup, but they did make some inline changes to this bow that go forward with their new 2022 Vista 31. So we wanted to reevaluate this bow because of the upgrades and changes that they've brought for 2022. Now Athens is made up there in New York, and they're made in the USA, and they're a small company. Just a great group of folks up there. So if you're looking for one of the smaller brands with people you can actually talk to and not dealing with one of the major brands, then maybe looking at Athens Archery is a choice for you. Now let's get into the specs on this bow. The speed rating on the 33 is 335 feet per second. The axle to axle on this bow is 33 inches. Now the overall cam to cam length on this bow is 37.25. And the brace height on it is 6.5 inches. Now the factory spec weight is coming in at 4.2 pounds, and we pulled this bow out of the box and threw it on the scale and got 4.8 pounds out of the box. Pulling the limb dampeners and things off of it, we got it down to 4.6 pounds, so coming in a little heavier than advertised. However, we're a little interested in the fact that the 33 and the 31 are actually advertised as the same weight, and they do actually weigh the same. So the fact that it's a longer bow and doesn't weigh any extra is kind of interesting to us, but it's a great feature if you're looking for a little longer bow and don't want to add any weight to it. But it is coming in just a little heavier than what factory spec weight is showing. Now the draw length specs on this bow, and it is an adjustable module cam on this RTX cam. It is available from 25 inches on the low end all the way out to 31 inches on the high end. So you're going to be able to fit pretty much everybody out there, unless you have that exceptionally long draw. If you're 6'4" or better, then a 32, 33 inch draw is not going to be available on this bow, but you're going to be able to reach out and get that guy that needs that 31 and still be able to fit somebody that has that extra short draw at 25 inches. And like I said, no press is needed on these cams, so you can make those adjustments wherever you need to in the field. If you need to make a little adjustment on the draw length, it's just a couple of screws on that module. Now the draw weight options on this bow go all the way from 40 out to 80 pounds at every 10-pound increments, and also includes a 65-pound model. So you can order this bow in a 40 all the way out to 80. So if you need a lighter weight for a woman or a kid and they want a little longer bow, you can certainly get those lighter weights in this bow. Or if you're somebody that's been leaning towards that heavier trend that we've been seeing from folks wanting an 80-pounder, then you can certainly get the new Vista 33 in an 80-pound option. Now the let-off on these cams is adjustable from 80 to 90% let-off, and it is a rotating draw stop on the end of that mod, so you just loosen up a screw and it actually rotates inside the module there, changing that let-off and changing where you're at in that draw curve to get it. Now the RTX cam is built on a 2 base cam module system, so you got a number 1 and a number 2 base mod to get the full draw length out of this bow. So you're going to be able to make those changes pretty simply. If you do need a shorter draw or a longer draw, your dealer should have those mods available to just swap them out and get the full draw length range on this cam. Now one of the changes that they brought for this year is their tunable cable system, or the TCS roller guard. That was one of the upgrades and changes from last year's Vista 33. It's going to allow you to move that roller guard in and out, taking the pressure off the cam, taking cam lean out, helping you tune this bow and get it shooting great. And one of the other things they did was they upgraded to that locking limb pocket, and it is a great limb pocket system that's locking everything in place, keeping everything stable and shooting well. Now the limb platform on this bow is a full 1-inch wide limb, and it's a split limb system, and it is a pass parallel binary cam system. This bow does come standard with low profile X-out limb dampeners, which is keeping the vibration out of the shot on this bow and making it feel great. A couple of the other things that are built into this bow is that thin machined riser grip that we noticed right off. When you pick up this bow, it does have more of a target feel to it, and they've thinned that grip out in the machining process a little thinner than pretty much every other manufacturer out there. Has a nice little cut out there where the meat part of your hand sits in the riser. Makes it feel really good in your hand. It's going to take a lot of torque out of that shot, being a little thinner than everybody else's grip. Now they did keep with a standard double rest hole mount, which we like to see to be able to lock your air rest down if needed. And they did keep a front and back stabilizer hole, so you're able to mount whatever weights and stabilizer systems you need on this bow to balance it out. They also kept the double sight mounting option, so there are 2 sets of sight mounting holes, so if you need to move how your sight is mounted on there to get a better sight picture, whether it's up or down or in and out a little bit on a direct mount sight, you're going to have that option built right into the riser. All their top end bows come with gas premium high octane strings from the factory. So they are putting a high-end, great string on there, having no creep, no stretch, so you're not going to have to worry about peep rotation or anything right out of the box on this bow. And it is an upgrade. You're not going to have to look for any aftermarket strings to put a better string on these bows. They've got the best strings out there already on the bow. They also have a lifetime transferable warranty, which is pretty cool. So if you buy this bow, not only do you get the lifetime warranty for yourself, but if you sell this bow or give this bow to a family member, that warranty is transferable to the next person. So this bow is going to keep a lifetime warranty throughout the life of the bow, not just your ownership. One of the other cool things that Athens offers is a save your hunt option. So if you're on a paid hunt somewhere and you have a failure on your bow or something catastrophically goes wrong, they're going to make sure that they get a bow to you in some way, shape, or form to keep you on your hunt and keep you in the woods so that you don't lose out on that hunt of a lifetime. Now, taking a look at the color palette that Athens has on their bows, it is the most extensive color palette that we've seen from any manufacturer, and it's the most unique at the same time. They're using a color fusion process on all their camo bows, and they do have a ton of options. So we figured it up, there's about 20 different options that you can get in this bow, but then you can mix and match on top of that. Now they have some of your standard colors like you're always going to see, like your black and your green Beret, your flat dark earth, or a gray Gunsmoke. They even do an Old Glory, and for you guys up north, they do an O Canada, so they got some flag patterns in this bow. But what stood out to us was some of the camo colors that they did, and one of which is this Autumn Blaze that this 33 is in. It's a really cool look, and it's different from anything that we've seen from anybody else. And they also offer it in a Spring Fever, which is kind of a bright green color of the similar camo. The other cool thing that they offer is a Predator camo. Now, Predator's been around forever, and if you like that brown Deception Predator, and there's a major following out there that does, this is the only bow that we're aware of on the market that is still being produced in a Predator camo. Now they do offer some Treezyn colors, and you can get some other limb-only option colors, and like I said, mix and match those. But it's an extensive color palette. I would suggest you jump on the website and look at all your options there if you want to customize this bow special for yourself. There's a ton of options there to make it look really cool. Now, price point on this bow, being a 33, is coming in at $11.99, so $1,200, right there where we're seeing most everybody else's flagship bows. From here, we're going to step over to the lane and we're going to shoot this bow over the chronograph, giving you a breakdown on all the speeds as well as the decibel ratings. As usual, we're going to shoot this bow on 29-inch draw length with 70 pounds and 90% let off, and then all the way from 350 out to a 500 grain arrow. So we step back here to the lane and we're going to take a few shots out of the Vista 33. As usual, we've got the bow set on 29-inch draw and 70 pounds, 90% let off, and we're going to start with that 400 grain arrow and then give you a breakdown of all the other weights and the decibel reading on this bow. So let's see what it does. All right, so on the 400 grain arrow, we got 291 feet per second. So really pretty nice. It's actually just about as fast, or right on the money as fast as the 31, their shorter bow. When you go back to that 350 grain arrow, we got 310 feet per second, which I think was within 1 foot a second of the 31. And then of course the 291 there on a 400 grain arrow. And on a 450 grain arrow, it drops off to 277. And then at a 500 grain arrow, it dropped to 262, which kind of surprises. It's holding efficiency just as well, if not better, than the 31 is. So if you're looking for a fast 33, this bow is going to post speeds just as fast as the 31, even though spec IBO ratings coming in at like 5 feet a second slower. This bow is still posting numbers equal with what the 31 is, which is surprising us, but overall a good thing. So it's getting better speeds than we expected. Now, as far as the decibel rating, what we've got on it here is 96.4 decibels. So overall, right there, it's a little bit quieter than the 31, but right there in the middle of the pack for what we're seeing out of noise ratings. Now, the overall draw cycle and feel on this bow is extremely smooth. It's going to come over really well, falls into that 90% let off. It doesn't really drop off harsh at all. So overall, I mean, I typically like a 33-inch bow, and this one feels really good in my hand. As far as that grip that we talked about earlier, where it's it's been thinned out there at the top, a little more so than most everybody else has been machined a little thinner. And you can tell that when you sit it in your hand. If you shoot a lot of bows, you're going to notice that being a lot thinner in the grip, and frankly, it's a good feel. It's going to take some torque out of the shot and just make it sit there in your hand really well. Now, the after shot on this bow, as far as the hand shock, there's none. It's very dead in the hand, feels great. Just an overall great platform here from Athens. And frankly, the color scheme, again, if you've not looked at these bows, they don't have your traditional color scheme. And this autumn blaze that they sent into us, it looks really sweet. And those Predator colors, you can really customize a bow out if Athens is something you want. And just the fact that it's a small company is definitely something that's nice as well. You can talk to the owners, you can get to folks and have a conversation there at Athens a whole lot easier than you can at some of these big name brand bows that are out there. So if Athens is something you're looking for this year, and I believe it's something you should take a look at because it's shooting right there with all your top models, give us a call at Mike's Archery. We'll get you set up with a brand new Athens.